What is going on in the housing market in Newport Coast? Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Insights. I'm your host, Jarrett Richards. Today, we're going to be talking about how the housing market is doing in Newport Coast for single family homes and also condominiums. With that being said, be sure to stay tuned for another episode that I'm going to be doing, bringing on a special guest, few different special guests to talk about how the market is doing in Orange County as a whole, in the Empire as a whole, and even parts of LA, San Diego, and so on, because I want to essentially get a broad understanding, have you guys get more of a broad understanding to really what is going on in the housing market. We are seeing foreclosures, we are seeing price reductions. However, in Newport Coast, we are seeing homes still sell. So we're not essentially seeing foreclosures. So it's an interesting aspect where you have Newport Coast and then you have other areas where in a market of uncertainty, it is very different. There's different factors. So I want to do this video talking about Newport Coast specifically, and I'm going to be doing another video with a guest talking about other markets. That way we can get a broad understanding to really what is going on. Again, welcome to another episode of Real Estate Insights. I'm your host, Jarrett Richards. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for weekly videos on home tours, market updates, exclusive interviews, and also other things like cars that we're going to be releasing, vlogs that I have with my pup, Jane Rose, friends, and so on. So let's hop right into my computer. Let's see how the market is doing here in Newport Coast. First things first, I want to go over what is a market action index. A market action index illustrates the balance between supply and demand using essentially current rate of sales versus current inventory.
We can see that the median price is $17,386,944, with the median price of new listings coming in at $12,745,000. The price per square foot is going to be $19.26. Average days on market is going to be 146, with the median days on market at 46. Again, this is going to vary because we're going to have homes that are going to range. We're going to have homes that are going to be essentially 3 to 4 million, all the way up to 15, all the way up to, as we see, $58 million here. The higher you go up, the longer that house is going to sit. But nonetheless, going back into this aspect in here, we're also going to see that there has been a price decrease of 23%. But last week, there was no price increase. This week, there was a 5% increase in price. There's no homes that were relisted this week. Inventory, that increased to 22. So from last week, it was at 17. This week, it is 22. So that's a little better. And moving into the lease side of things for investors, medium rent dropped to $16,000. Again, this is a lot more accurate with what I was talking about last week, where we got landlords to essentially accept $16,000, and we're seeing homes sit on the market for a very long time. When it comes to leases in this area, anything above $9,000, there's just more days on market. They're sitting longer, and there's some negotiation room. And I don't know if that's because of the fact that there's uncertainty or just because of the fact that it's this time of year. Leases do tend to slow down, so that is definitely something to keep note on. And again, market action is around 38, so that dropped. But key thing to note here is that we have homes that are dropping in price. Again, I don't think because we're in Newport Coast, this is necessarily a crash. I think it's actually becoming more reasonably priced, but we are seeing some homes increase in price. So curious on that aspect, but let's go ahead and dive into some other numbers down here. So the key thing that I want to talk about is, of course, inventory. So we could see since 2019, inventory has just dropped. I mean, 7-day average was 99, 90-day average was 95, and now we're down here with a 7-day average of 22, 90-day average of 20. That is a significant difference. So regardless of the other data, specifically here in Newport Coast, there's just not enough inventory. So again, if we're going to see homes dropping in price, that's not going to be discounted rates per se. I think it's going to be more just these homes are reasonably priced. But again, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing a special segment talking about how the market is doing in other parts of Orange County, other parts of essentially the United States as a whole right now, because it is very interesting seeing foreclosures come to the market. It is very interesting seeing how many homes are having a price reduction. Again, we are kind of in a different market being here in a luxury part of coastal Orange County and Newport Coast. So just something to keep in mind, that inventory is still extremely low. If we were to go down here to price per square foot, I'm going to get rid of this really quick. We could see that price per square foot is increasing. So appreciation, we're still in a very, very good appreciation market. So all in all, market has really not shown strong directional trends in terms of supply and demand. However, inventory is still significantly low, which is definitely keeping us still in a seller's market. And prices have begun to move upward as a result of that, just because there's no inventory. However, there's definitely some room for negotiation that I'm learning and experiencing firsthand, whether that's for leases or for purchases. So we're going to be talking about condominiums specifically for Newport Coast. And so you can see the median list price is $1,898,500, with a median price of new listings coming in at $1,999,000. So a little bit of an increase there. Price per square foot is $1,221, with the average days on market at 15, medium days on market at 4. So condominiums in Newport Coast definitely are moving fairly quicker than single family homes. And the average days on market is 15, medium days on market is 4. Price decreased 33%. I still believe this is just others getting more reasonably priced, because you can see that there's a 17% increase in relistings. So there are homes that were definitely very aggressively priced that sat for a very long time, expired, and now we're seeing them relisted. And at the same time, we also did get a little bit of a spike in new inventory. So that's good in that aspect, but you can see 6, that's still extremely low. We're going to dive into numbers in a second on inventory so we can see comparison and contrast from 2018 to now. But jumping gears really quick for investors. So condominiums, they tend to rent for about $6,000 in this area. I'm helping a couple right now, and there's a place that we're looking at that's just over 7,000. So I see a lot of homes being around 7,000, 8,000. But because of the fact that they're sitting on the market for longer, this is for sales, but for leases specifically, a lot of homes are sitting longer. So there's negotiation aspects going on. So we're seeing the medium rent right at $6,000. I need to do that there. Let's see if I could. No, don't save that. Okay, we could hop off anyways, because going down here to the price per square foot, we can see that is increasing. So again, this is also a very strong appreciation market, regardless if it's a single family home or if it's condominium. But let's go ahead and go to inventory. So we could see where we were in 2019, 7-day average 24, 90-day average 23. Down here, 7-day average 6, 90-day average 3. Again, significant difference. So there's a very, very, very low amount of inventory. Thus, it's keeping us in a strong seller's market.
My goal with these videos on this channel is to provide the most accurate and updated information. And with that said, I understand that Newport Coast is not talking about the market as a whole. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be doing another market update with other guests, other agents that specialize in different marketplaces or different parts of Orange County, so that way we could really get a broad understanding to what is going on, because we are seeing more foreclosures, we're seeing a mass price reduction, and I really want to have you guys understand and get the most updated information, not just for Newport Coast. That's why I mainly specialize in farm, not the only area that I serve. I do Irvine and Corona and Inland Empire and San Diego and stuff like that, right? But I have my specialty here in Orange County. That's what I talk about. That's what I know. So I'm going to bring on some other guests in another video next week to talk about the grand scope of what is going on here in Southern California in the markets, but also all across the nation in the housing markets. Let's get updated. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with anyone that you may think would like this video or find it helpful. And with that being said, if you guys are ever looking to buy, sell, or lease here in Newport Coast, Orange County, don't hesitate to call or text me. We'd love to meet you in person, love building relationships. We'd love to have a no obligation meeting to see how I could best help you.